Hello guys and welcome to my Elden Ring review. Just a quick one for you. I've just literally completed it. I've stuck in about 155 hours plus into the game, so obviously it's probably going to be a fairly positive review. Obviously sticking 155 hours into a game is quite a big ask. And yeah, that kind of leads me to my start of my negatives. Right, so negatives is it is a bit too long of a game. I know I could have maybe just gone, of course, for this main story and skipped some of the side stuff, but obviously you kind of need to level quite a bit in this game to beat the bosses. So you do have to put in a fairly large amount of time into the game, whether you want to or not, if you want to complete it anyway. Like I said, 155 hours. I've got lots of games to play, and this just meant I couldn't get into those games very much because obviously I've got to complete these, put in the time in this game. I am a bit of a completionist to some degree. Obviously I'm not like a massive trophy hunter or anything, but if I'm really enjoying a game, I don't really want to be, if I'm really really like a game, I'm not going to be like trying to I'm going to be getting as much the game done as I can, which I did do in this game, but I still really didn't get the kind of like ending I wanted, which is unfortunate. I could have looked it up how to get the ending I wanted, but that's not really how I want to play a game either. It's like, well, I kind of want this ending, so I've got to do all this, kind of go all through this tick box list to get the ending I want. So that kind of thing is a bit disappointing when you put 155 hours in and then wham, you don't get the ending that you kind of wanted. The ending I got was quite a decent one, to be fair, in comparison to some of the endings. It's quite a dark world, so you're not going to be having a happy ever after kind of ending to it. But the end that comes again to the ending was far too brief. Now, this isn't the type of game to have long cutscenes or anything. Again, I'll get round to that as another part of my disappointment to this game. But come on, I put 150 hours. There's like super hard bosses in the game. We all know this. It takes a long time to kill them and complete some of these bosses, and quite frustrating. Only to have an ending where you have about 30 seconds of cutscene, and then it goes to you sitting on the throne, and then ending credits. It's like, right, okay, after all that, it's just that. So rather disappointing ending. But like I said, this goes to the rest. Basically all the lore is pretty much hidden behind text, which is not the best way to do the lore, I think. I mean, yeah, and again, people will be like, well, it's always been done this way. It's, it's fine. But that's kind of not my best favorite kind of way of learning about lore, is just reading loads of text. I'm playing a game. Tell me in a more informative and easier way, like cutscenes and more dialogue. I don't mind playing a game where there's text logs and stuff like that. I'll be happily to read a couple of text logs every now and again, but not, this is how you learn everything through text logs. And it's a bit like, I don't really like that, to be honest. So that is a bit disappointing. Again, you could say, "Oh, that's just how it is." So you gotta do a lot of reading if you want to know what's going on. So again, kind of boring. You know, especially like it's not the text. It's not like text logs either. It's like you've collected a piece of armor. You got to go in the descriptions to see what it says about this character or the lore of this part of the world and stuff like that. It's just like why? Like, you know, I'll get into I'll play several fights almost in a row, and I'll be like, I've picked up some armor, but I can't really remember what armor I picked up, so I miss out on that bit of lore. So in the end, I kind of don't really know much about what's going on in the game. I mean, obviously, the Elden Rings, this, and again, some of this lore I'm going to say now is what I learned via a YouTube videos. So you know that goes to show that it's not all very clear, this game. So you know, there's some kind of alien being came down and made itself known here using the Elden Ring, created the Elden Ring, and then the Golden Order was created. The Elden Ring was created to take over the land and make them worship this entity. And obviously they had successes and not successes, and there's no kind of death in this world. They kind of die and then go to the Earth Tree, and then the Earth Tree kind of gives I don't know, reborn, getting them, they get reborn, something like that. I don't know really, to be honest. And obviously a few other little things, but that's kind of not the best way to do a story, is it really? So that's kind of disappointing. I think it has got great lore and stuff like that. It just doesn't tell you it. You got to go through a lot of different things to learn about what's going on. So that's a bit annoying. Like I said, some of the bosses did feel a little bit too much, a little bit too difficult, you know. And especially end bosses. I was like, well, I've leveled loads and loads and loads, probably more than most people. So really, I shouldn't be, shouldn't be having too much trouble. But I did, to be honest. Some bosses I'm like, oh no, I can't do this. Oh, I'm gonna try to get some help. Couldn't get any help, and then I tried to beat the boss, and I was like, oh, actually, this one's not too hard. And then other bosses, just repeatedly banging your head against a wall, kind of thing. So and again, another kind of bad thing is like, honestly, magic is probably the best build you could have in the game. So yeah, so it's a little bit unfair, and I guess you got to really learn a lot of stuff to get the best builds and stuff. Again, it's just a bit like, can I be bothered? Probably not. So again, you could say this is, well, that's just the way the game is, kind of thing. But just personally, I didn't particularly like that. Obviously, platforming in this game was probably my main enemy. I died more than from fiddly drops and things like that, which could be annoying when you're playing such a difficult game anyway, when it comes to bosses. And then it's just like, we're going to give you lots of tricky platforming. It's like, yeah, great, thanks. That can be quite frustrating because, well, it doesn't feel like your fault per se. It's like you level all these levels up, but it doesn't make any difference if you're going to just fall to your death, right? It doesn't matter whether you're like 200 level or 5. if you fall off a cliff, you're going to die. So that can be a bit annoying. But we're going to get down to the positives, right? You know, there's a lot of those as well. I loved all the different armor sets, the weapons, or just gives you so many options, and obviously can lead to a lot of time played in the game, and obviously, you know, makes it tempting to do a second playthrough, that kind of thing. You know, is great. You know, different weapons. You got like close range weapons. You got long range weapons. You got heavy weapons. You got light weapons. You got all sorts of different things going on in this game, and the armor sets. A lot of great armor sets. You know, I've spent a lot of time going. Do I go for what's best for my character or what looks the best? And to be honest, I kind of doing a bit of both, like mismatching armor sets to try to get the best results, but then I'll go, I actually don't like the way my character looks, so I'm going to go a full set, make it look better, but not actually be out that advantageous to my character to look like, just to make myself look nicer. But like I said, it does make me tempted to play again, just to choose a different kind of way of fighting. Am I going to do that? No. You know, it's like I said, bit too long, this game. I don't think I'll be playing this again anytime soon. Again, like I said, really enjoyed it, but I might even watch other people play it online on YouTube and stuff, but I don't think I'll be playing it myself. Again, most of the time, for about 60% of the bosses, it felt difficult but fair. You know, I was like, right, okay, I can see their attack pattern. I know I can probably beat them. It's just getting the timing right and the dodges right and the right setup, and I think I can do that. The other times, it's just like, well, I don't really see how I can beat this guy. He's just like battering me about, and I can't seem to figure out how I can possibly dodge that, and it seems a bit more like luck. But you know, that's just some of the bosses. The majority, it would just seem like, yeah, okay, I just need to do this and that and try it a few more times, and I should probably get it down, which is great. That kind of thing is really good. And the world itself is really interesting. You know, the different areas makes you go, ooh, okay. So this, obviously, what we're watching now is the Volcano Manor. It's pretty damn pretty, and very different to the next part of the world, which is like Limgrave is very green, and then you got this mountain of the giants, which is snow, and another area which is barren and rotten and stuff like that. It's a very big, big lot of options there when it comes to how things look, and I really did enjoy the world it's set in, and I think that's that, and the obviously different options and stuff really make this game good, and keeps you coming back. It's the combat and the world it's set in. Like I said, definitely not perfect, this game. Could definitely improve on telling its story via more talking and cutscenes and stuff like that. I think it would improve by doing that. I know there's a lot of purists who are like, nah, it's brilliant. It's best way of telling stories via text on armors and swords and stuff like that. Yeah, I on the other don't think so. Some more cutscenes, longer cutscenes, some more dialogue, get me a lot more into the world. But there you go. I think that's Like I said, not a full long um, review really. The music's very good, orchestrated like big pieces and stuff, but nothing like I can. Nothing makes me go, oh, that tune is from Elden Ring. So that's a little bit disappointing as well. Like you kind of want a tune or two at least to have like, okay, that's Elden Ring. You know, because you can go, if they played one of the tunes from like Lord of the Rings, you're gonna know it's from Lord of the Rings. You know, there's one or two pieces that make you go, all right, this is that game or that film. So that's a little bit disappointing, especially when such a good game it is. So obviously I'm going to give it a bit of a review. The game's been out ages, so I'm not going to be like swaying anybody here. You know, people have either played it or not played it by now. But I am going to probably give it. I see. I'm being tricky. I find this tricky. I'm probably going to be giving it an 8 out of 10, or 8.5 out of 10. Now, before I tried to beat the end bosses, I would probably give it a 9 out of 10. But yeah, I found those bosses a little bit Radagan at least, and Gideon, the all-knowing, just made me drop it down a bit, and that's kind of the problem with this type of game. Is yeah, okay, great game and all that, but if you have last experience in the game be a bit of an annoying one, it might leave a sour taste in people's mouths. It's just kind of unfortunate, really. But there you go. Give it 8.5, because I mean I put 150 plus hours in it, so I must have enjoyed it. Like I said, definitely not perfect. Could easily do some improvements for the next one. But it's been one of my favourite games this year, at least. Yeah. Anyway, if you liked the video, guys, like it and subscribe to the channel, because I'll be doing some more reviews in the future. And I'll see you later. Bye, guys.